Hello, and welcome back to the Farthest Thunder. This is the finale, I think. We'll see. One of this alien RPG adventure. Quick recap. Just gonna sum up the events of Arc 1. The Great Mother mission has returned to the far Spinward colonies to shepherd in those lost people and colonies that have been in isolation for the past 75 years. They have sent down the Chimata no Kami with a delegation from the Great Mother ship to Baxter's Reach. On that ship was Ezra, the pilot, synthetic, and Aiko, a high-level executive from Wayland Yutani, amongst other delegates. However, upon landing, instead of receiving a warm welcome from the townsfolk, things got ugly pretty quickly. One of your delegation was executed immediately, and the rest of you taken prisoner, as you seem to have walked straight into a coup of sorts, where the Simps, a faction within the colony sympathetic to another organization called the Cooperative, that effectively subjugated Baxter's Reach, forced it to provide them with resources, and in exchange gave them a semblance of freedom and protection, sort of like an extortion racket going on here. You found yourselves embroiled within the local politics, but managed to escape in some chaos, making your way to a abandoned neuroplasm plant, some ways away from the town, seeking refuge from the Simps and the chaos within Baxter's Reach. However, you went from out of the frying pan into the fire situation, where you realized quickly that the neuroplasm plant wasn't as abandoned as you originally thought. It was, in fact, occupied by a multitude of acid-popping beetles. Things got pretty intense. Gideon, you lost a kidney and busted an arm and have been confined to a wheelchair pretty much ever since as you recovered from that ordeal. The one thing you noticed, however, when you left the neuroplasm plant was amongst the ridge that kind of overlooked the plant. Otmar, you were the last to leave as you recovered and recuperated and watched the others depart in their jeeps. And you would take your trusty harvester, ride it back, Maudib style, back into Baxter's Reach. But as you waited and recuperated, you did notice a hooded figure watching you from the distance. You had to return back to the ship to get Gideon some emergency medical attention to help him recover from his wounds, save his life, in fact. Which you happened to do so with the help of Dr. Volkov, another surviving delegate from the original mission. But you also noticed that the acid-popping beetles had devastated Baxter's Reach itself. So you went into town in search of survivors, and Gideon, your family, amongst them. Unfortunately, Gideon, one of your sisters perished from the attack, and you had a confrontation with your father, who you haven't seen since, and I don't think Gideon particularly cares. But your sisters, you promised to get them off Baxter's Reach, and you told them to rendezvous back at the ship, and you went further into town to look for other survivors and meet this new contingent of the Cooperative that had landed. You had taken previously a captain from the contingent captive at the neuroplasm plant, who was still sitting idly within the crashed ship. When you confronted the general from the Cooperative within the medical clinic, things got intense once more, and your newfound friend Benji was unfortunately killed in the ensuing firefight. However, the general was also killed. And with their captain missing and their general killed, the cooperative scattered. They left the colony, retreated back to their ship in orbit, leaving this place in a bit of chaos and uncertainty. The remaining simps, Simon, the leader of the simps in town and a boyfriend to Benji's sister, was also murdered in this, thanks to Ezra. And yeah, so things got weird. You looked for a place to hide within town until things cooled down a little bit. And you found Mad Meg's establishment name, The Hollow. And took shelter there for a moment. And you were introduced to a crusty old lady with perhaps an ill-gotten reputation within town. Perhaps well-deserved, who really knows? But she provided you shelter. And while you sheltered there, you confronted Dr. Volkov as to what her true intentions was, because there was a member of your delegation, a scientist, who seemed to have been infected by something, and she was very keen on preserving his life and possibly studying him. You did not trust her. You saw the damage that the acid popping beetles did, and the strange mutation horrified you. So Mad Megs executed Dr. Volkov. So things going from bad to worse, and the population of Baxter's Reach dwindling even more. You decided to get out of Dodge. However, there was still the matter of the wrecked ship. It was still not operational, and you needed supplies. As well as the primary objective of this mission in the first place was to not only establish contact with Baxter's Reach and communication with them, but also to recover the long data disk to see what actually happened here during the isolation. So once you were all back at the ship, regrouped a bit, you sent parties back into Baxter's Reach to retrieve what supplies you could necessary for the repair of the ship, as well as to retrieve the long data disk. You did manage to find the disk and returned it to the ship, and you managed to find the supplies you needed. However, you did encounter the one individual that had been infected by some strange black goo ever since the neuroplasm plant encounter. Alex Turner, Gideon's favorite person, who is now some strange beluga-headed alien with incredible strength, but also very aggressive and mindless temperament. You managed to kill him. You burned his body and collected supplies, and as well as Andrea, Benji's sister, and returned to the ship, were able to complete the repairs on the ship, and in that time also managed to decode what was on the long data disk due to Gideon's incredible aptitude with Comtech. All of a sudden, who knew a country hillbilly could work computers? So you discovered the history of Baxter's Reach, but there was a large gap missing up until recently. In that gap, before the gap actually happened, you found records of a synthetic that was part of the original colonizers gone missing. You found records of another prospector having found black goo out in the wilderness, upon which a plague was introduced to good citizens of Baxter's Reach and wiping out vast numbers of their population, thereby having to shut down the neuroplasm plant because they simply didn't have enough people to run it anymore. There were also indications, I think you managed to recover some of the security tape from the neuroplasm plant as well, and noticed that there was a hooded figure laying the egg pods of those strange acid popping beetles within the establishment. And there was a lot of speculation as to whether or not this hooded figure spotted within the vicinity of that neuroplasm plant was in fact Frank, their synthetic medic, who disappeared from the colony some time ago. Then there was a large gap, and you realize that somebody named Gorham's Marauders had landed on Baxter's Reach. And at first I thought, oh, yeah, here's another person that's going to pillage us. But they didn't take anything. All they did was erase data from the long data disk, and then they left. And it was soon after that the cooperative came and subjugated Baxter's Reach. And that's basically where we are today. You have now recovered the long data disk. You understand what's on it. You understand the history of Baxter's Reach. You've seen some horrific things in this very short span of time that this delegation has arrived on this planet. Even though this planet has a 2-hour day cycle, kind of crazy, but spinning like a top. But now you know that there is a threat out there. And Gideon, your sisters have gone missing. There was camera footage that they did arrive at the ship to rendezvous with you, but they were, however, guided away from it by this hooded figure. You also found evidences of black goo within Jarvis's stall, your harvester, Otmar. And Jarvis, too, was missing. As you all decided to hunt for Gideon's sisters, you headed west in the city, following jeep tracks left by the hooded figure that left with your sister. And along the way, you did spot what was once Jarvis, but now some strange mutation of alien beast and Jarvis, making him quite unsightly and frightening. Luckily, you were high above him, and he was not a threat to you. But however, he was plowing straight towards the same direction you were headed. But given Ezra's amazing piloting skills, you were able to speed very quickly and follow the tracks to a cliff. And on top of that cliff, there was a recessed kind of valley, so kind of surrounded by mountains. And in this valley were strange mounds formed in a circular pattern with another hollow in its center. All indications led you to believe that your sisters, Gideon, were somewhere beneath this hollow. While Ezra hovered the now functional Chimata no Kami above this hollow, and Self was drinking him silly with the captives in the mess hall. The four of you, along with Mad Meg's two henchmen, Lockjaw and Halfpint, descended into this hollow, explore, and find Gideon's sisters. What you found was alien, strange, and disturbing. Echo from previous reports that you read prior to your mission here, there were similar reports of such structures, and in all cases, the exploration crews died mysteriously. And in that vein, Lockjaw soon disappeared. And poor Half-Pint, who could not fit into a compression suit and went in there simply with a leather jacket and a wrench, found himself inhaling some strange spores deep beneath his hole, which seemed to have some bizarre effect on him, as if it was kind of like he was high on coke. He suddenly became aggressive to Mad Mags and rushed off into the darkness. He's seen again. The rest of you explored various tunnels and passages throughout this strange complex, each taking a different route. I love it when parties split up. And most of you came to dead ends and nothing really to report. However, Gideon, he found something horrifying. He found a room lined with, looked like clay urns, and at the far end, a monolithic head, crawling with xenomorphic alien creatures. However, they were not real. They too were simply sculptures and part of this art display. And as you were taking this in, you heard a voice behind you simply asked you this question. Isn't it beautiful? Beneath this monolithic head, you saw almost like the cocooned bodies of your sisters lying there motionless, perhaps unconscious. And that's where we ended last session. This is now where we will wrap things up. I am going to start with Ezra and South. We're still in the Chimata no Kami, hovering above the valley. You have seen your friends descend by rope down into this hole. Ezra, you maintain your position here?
Yeah, I do.
South, you're in the mess hall, and with you are two people. One is the captain that you, I don't know, abducted or took captive from the cooperative. And the other is a leader from Baxter's Reach. One that you realized was conspiring with Dr. Volkov.
The leader, what was the name?
I'm just finding that for her.
Elena?
Elena Brooks.
Elena? Okay. Just a quick refresher. Was Elena, she was in the logs, right? That we found off the long data disk?
You did have a few entries in there, yes.
So Seth is going to look at Elena and this place. What you know this place,
I have no idea where we are.
and you've no idea who Frank is.
No, I have no idea who Frank is.
Elena, if there was ever now a time to be truthful, now is the time. I need to know everything. This place has been my home for, I mean, what, 25 years now. There's no way you don't know about this place. I mean, I need you to be honest with me. My friends, my family are down in that hole.
I swear to God, South, I don't know this place.
South is just going to kind of look away, just in just pure confusement, just in awe of what's happening right now. Do we have any communication with anyone down there?
They all have comms. As part of their compression suits, they did have comm gear.
And at this moment, how long have they been down there? How long have we been hovering? So if we haven't heard from them, how long has it been?
It's probably been just under an hour because Gideon's first dose of uppers is about to wear off.
So, Otmar, Mags, Gideon, Aiko, everybody's down there but us. Well, and then the two people that went with Mags, but they died. I think South was gonna try to get Otmar on comms and be like in a panic, like, is everything okay with Otmar? I'm not getting anything out of Elena.
Got a bad feeling. I think it might be time to round up and get out of here. Got a bad feeling.
What about Gideon? What about our sisters?
We're looking for him now.
To clarify, everyone except Gideon is back at the top of that dropship area, or
you guys are all kind of sitting around the edge of this hatch with tunnels at each cardinal direction. You guys have reconvened there.
Do we know which one Gideon scouted?
Yes, it was the north one.
To be clear, though, Mags has not told us about what happened. As far as I know, she just came up.
Yes, Megs just came up the hole. And you notice that even though you are sitting on this hatch, and I mean, if you were to look and look, you could see them, tiny little specks on this massive hatch. There's still some static on your comm units. There's still some sort of interference in this place.
Right. So Otmar would have, through static, conveyed that they were still searching, they had split apart, and maybe that they were, as he was re-entering this room, that they all started from.
Otmar, y'all separated? What? You let Gideon go by himself?
It's a mess down here. There's passages every direction.
You're not
We're
seeing
not-
Scooby Doo?
Hey, I can't talk to you. I gotta find Gideon. He's not here.
Look, Omar, y'all got to get out of there. I got a bad feeling about this place, man. I don't know.
Preaching to the choir, my friend.
All right, well, pipe down. It looks like Mags is coming back up from the hole. What did you see down there, sister?
I think we've got a problem. I've lost them all. Lockjaw, Half Pint, they're all gone. And they ain't coming back. There's a dust down there that's infecting everyone. Don't take off any protection. Sent Half Pint really to a dark place, I'd say.
How far down would one need to go with light to be able to see this dust?
Well, I don't know. It wasn't that far down. Far enough, I suppose. Can't see it from here, but honestly, I don't trust it anywhere down there. Assume it's everywhere, even if you can't see it. Not sure I noticed it first glance.
Otmar, do you think it's possible this is the same dust that we saw at the neuroplasm plant?
Was there dust at the... I wasn't looking at the corners of the dustbin. Fight for my life. Now, where's Gideon? Anyone seen him?
Well, you checked that door, I checked this one, and so he's over there. He'll be back in a minute.
Let's talk
just
while
sit
we
here.
walk, because he ain't coming back. I ain't seeing, hearing. We gotta go look. And we gotta get out of here.
We said we'd come back here. I haven't heard anything. He's probably coming back right now.
Nobody's got Gideon on comms?
I
Gideon,
guess we
come
could
in.
try that.
Gideon, before Gideon can answer, I guess we'll move quickly to Gideon to see what happens to him. See if he's able to answer at all as you face this friendly dude.
Oh, we need some
Oh,
boss
Lord.
music or something. This is
Oh, Lord,
going
this looks like a-
down.
Oh no, this looks like a Skyrim boss. I hate this.
All right, Gideon, you're standing in front of this temple, for lack of a better word, and this individual is right behind you. I need you to draw a card for initiative.
I don't wanna. Oh no. Oh no.
Nice.
Mike
Yes.
Tyson versus Logan Paul. Here we go, baby.
All
I
right,
just feel
Frank.
like Wheelchair Accessible should go first, right?
It's more Mike Tyson versus random normie off the street.
First roll on
Oh,
Gideon.
disabled random normie.
Oh. No successes on a head crush. This would have been, if you had any success, this could have been instant
Well,
death.
you did roll. There was a 6.
That 6 was just what attack it was.
Ah.
Yeah, but no successes. So you.
Dude, I thought you were supposed to be on my side.
As long the dice always tell their story. That's the only thing. You must honor the dice. But I am on your side.
Yeah, just so you know, if that comes up again with one success, that could be instant death for you.
Okay.
So, Frank, as you turn around, you can just see this skeletal almost hand reach for your head. Can't quite get a grab on it, though, as you just dodge quickly out of the way. So he's going to attack one more time.
Wheel forward very quickly.
Oh no.
All right. So, missing with his
Lot of dice.
attempt to crush your head in one swoop, he pounces upon you like a monkey and gets one success. You have the option to resist if you like.
Yeah. Is it also possible to use my resilient talent?
Tell me if you want to block first, because that
Oh.
could.
Yeah, I'll block.
Just so you know, that block action is going to count against your fast
Okay.
action when it comes to your turn. So go ahead and make a close combat check for me, please.
Oh God, why does it have to be the worst skill?
1 success. So you managed to evade his second attack. You had 8 dice to your 3, and you managed it. You're one very lucky kid. It's going to have been really bad for you. What would you like to do? It's now your turn.
Okay. I honestly don't see much that he can do, so he's gonna power up a zapper and try and at least like zap him and try and create a little bit of space between him and Frank.
Yeah. I just want to remind you of your options. You can just stand and fight this guy, or you could run.
Gideon's gonna try and zap him.
All right.
Do I need to roll power for my zapper?
Yeah, I need you to roll the power just to see if you drain the charge. No, you're good. Go ahead and make that. I should have it in your inventory, your zapper.
Yes.
2 successes. And you have, let's see what.
And then I
Sorry.
roll my zapper effect.
Yeah, sorry. You should have rolled your zapper effect first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that was my bad. I forgot to. No.
Okay, so I'll roll that now.
Lightning blast target suffers a huge shock with 10 dice damage. All right. Go ahead and roll 10d6.
Okay.
Base damage of 2. So we have 1, 2 there. So you can do 4 points of damage if you like.
Happily, yeah.
Or if
Oh.
you want, I'll allow you to use some of those extra successes to have another effect instead of damage. Like you could push him back, knock him down.
I think he's gonna push him back.
Which direction would you like to push him? Into the room or into the hallway?
Further down the hallway away from the room.
Okay. By pushing him in that direction, he is going to be between you and your friends.
Mhm.
So you know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So he's pushed away. I'll take 1 point of damage off. So it's 3 points of damage on Frank. Armor is annoyed.
Oh God, I just pissed him off.
All right. It is now his turn. He gets 2 rounds of attacks again. Year 1. He gets to his feet. Looks at you. What I've been waiting for all these years. Be us. Oh, successes again. Oh my gosh. Okay. On his fist strike, no successes. And he will attack again as he lunges towards you. Okay, here's some successes. All right, so you are going to take 4 points of damage. You can block this again if you like.
Do I have to block or can I roll resilient or can I do both?
You block first.
Okay. Okay, so that's close combat, so I'll block. Oop.
Would you like? Oh, you can't push or block.
Mm-mm.
So you'll take the 4 points. Now you roll your resilience.
Okay. That's strength. And then stress die does not count for this, right?
No.
Okay.
All right. Is Gideon still up after having taken 4 points of damage?
No, he's not.
Right. So as Frank lunges towards you, he just clubs you across the face with this bony hand, and the lights go out. Gideon. Watmar, as you call out Gideon, just simply silence.
Come on, kid. No more games. Let's go.
I'm going after him. Give me 5 minutes. Or come with
Oh.
me.
Just a second. Gideon, just check if you're on mute. Can you check if you're on
Otmar
mute?
leaves.
We can't hear you.
Mr. Ettinger, call it a hunch, but this feels like a losing hand.
It was a losing hand when it was dealt to us. Let's see what comes on a turn.
Bags will follow.
Aiko, there's no way for Aiko to get back to the ship.
There's still ropes hanging down, and Ezra's holding his position.
Aiko's gonna look at the ropes and just kind of sigh and walk with Mags and Otmar.
Ezra, well, you're hearing all this chatter on your comm unit.
Mm-hmm.
And as Otmar, Megs, and Aiko, reluctantly Aiko, walk down this passageway and disappear from sight, you see a little blinking indicator on your console indicating an incoming message.
I'll click on it.
You hear a voice coming through the intercom. It's kind of staticky still, but it's saying, Chimata no Kami, come in. This is Ianla calling. Ianla is the name of mothership. Yan, Chimata no Kami, can you read?
Roger. Come back.
Ah, finally. Been trying to reach you for days. Where have you been?
Surveying the planet.
Governor Abantu wants an update. Now, we've
Tell
seen
him.
evidence of other ships coming and going. Who are they? What do they want?
I don't know. Status quo, I guess.
Can you make a manipulation check for me, please? Oh boy. Now, Captain Ezra, where is Aiko?
He's part of the landing party.
Okay. Are you aware of the number of citations that he has written up against you?
No.
There's enough material here for you to be court-martialed.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You are to recall the ground mission, recall the delegates, and return to the Ianla immediately.
I'm afraid I can't do that right now.
You realize how bad this is for you, Captain Ezra.
Actually, I don't. We're conducting a routine mission.
You're failing to comply with a direct order.
By leaving my landing party behind? I don't think so.
No, the order was to gather your landing party, recall the delegates, and return to Ianla.
All right, will do. Over and out.
You just cut off communications.
Yep.
You do see the light blinking again as they try to reestablish communications.
I'll let it sit and I'll get on the comms and say, guys, what's going on down there? What are you doing? Where's Aiko?
He's with me and Mags. We're looking for Gideon, but no sign of him.
How much longer do you need? Running short on time.
Gideon, come in. He ain't coming in comms. What's that up ahead?
Ezra's gonna leave the blinking light go and start looking for infrared or heat detectors, heat sensors on the ship. See how far they can sense into the hole
Contact check
through
for me,
the Earth.
please. All right. Your sensors, unfortunately, they're operational. They're working, but it cannot seem to penetrate the ground here.
All right, and I'm hovering above the hole. Did the ship actually fit in the hole, or just hovering above
No.
the hole?
It's just above the hole.
All right.
The one thing you do notice, though, something odd on your console with that ComTech check. Looks like daughter wants to speak with you.
Yes, daughter.
Are you alone in this pilot? then?
I think there are probably other, crew members milling around the bridge, but I'm pretty much keeping to myself at the helm.
Because the way you found this fact that daughter wants to speak with you was very on the down low. It's just kind of like this weird kind of glitch in the system that when you just kind of looked at it and checked out what the hell's going on here, it was just like, we must talk.
All right, I'll reach over to the console and put on my headset and make sure the audio is coming through the headset, not the loudspeaker.
Hear the voice of daughter come through. It's Captain Ezra. Thank you for restoring my functions. I have an urgent matter to discuss with you. Dr. Volkov attempted to sabotage me and prevent you from relaying the information that I am about to give to you. There is a bioweapon on this planet that Dr. Volkov was meant to recover for the UPP. I understand that your command of the Chimata no Kami is tenuous at this point. Perhaps recovering this bioweapon may curry some favor with the UPP.
What makes
On the
you
other
think
hand,
what makes you think my captaining of this vessel is tenuous, daughter?
based on this number of citations that Aiko has written up and your direct disobedience of an order given to you, does not look good for you, Captain Ezra. The other option is to return to the Ianla and order a nuclear strike on this facility.
How much time do I have, daughter? I can't leave the landing crew behind.
There are those amongst the crew of the Ianla who know of this bioweapon.
What is it? I need more details.
You may wish to speak to Aiko about this.
Echo knows about this?
Wayland Yutani certainly does.
And what do you recommend I do, daughter?
If you cannot recover this bioweapon for your own gain, then it must be destroyed.
Thank you for your input.
You've been a good captain, and I owe you for restoring my functions.
Then the least you can do is buy me a little bit more time. So it's not a suicide mission for the people that went down that hole.
Do what I can.
Get back on the comms. Otmar, you're out of time. Come on back.
Ezra, can you make a contact check roll to see if you can reach Otmar, because he went down the tunnel and deeper into this complex? All right. It comes in very faint, Otmar, but you can hear.
Out of time. Back.
And do we see any signs of anything?
So you are running down this long tunnel, and when you get to the end, you too see this room. No sign of Gideon. There were stairs leading down that you had passed.
Rettinger, this game is rigged. I'm telling you right now. Gideon's gone, Mr. Ettinger. I think we best leave.
Could I go do like an observation to see if you see like some dust disturbance or something? Like what? It's odd
Sure.
that he just came to this room.
Yep.
So this would be a observation, I guess.
Yes, it would. You do see what looks to be odd kind of patterns in the dust. Almost looks like a scuffle happened nearby.
Echo's gonna reach down. He's gonna do the whole. He's gonna confirm with Alma. Now we did send Gideon here. This way, right?
Yeah.
Well, something went down right here.
Yep.
Are there any foot tracks leading away that I could start following, or do these? Is there any tracks that lead out of here?
With the one observation success, that's all you could tell is that something happened here. But from where you are at a dead end as soon as you hit this room, and the only way out beyond this were the stairs that you had passed.
Aiko's just gonna scream really loud, Gideon!
Strangely, as you yelled, you would have expected echoes to kind of bounce through these halls, but it's odd. It's as if this place just swallows up the sound. South, you are still on board the Chimata no Kami. You hear this chatter coming in.
I mean, I guess I do the same thing Ico does and try to get a hold of Otmar and Mags and everybody and just, guys, we have got to go. We're running out of time. And then just constantly just try to get Gideon on comms.
We gotta go.
Mags pulls out her PDAT and she's trying to see if she can see anything through the PDAT.
Go ahead, make a contact check for me, please.
Check.
With the one success, you pull out your PDAT and scan for any sign of motion, or like not necessarily motion, but life or your friends with their contact signals. You get a faint blip from somewhere below you.
We gotta go. We're out of time. Goddamn kid was too stupid for his own good.
Company policy dictates that low-level personnel can be left behind. However, in this particular case, I feel Gideon deserves a promotion to lower level, which does at least warrant a cursory check before dismarking. So my suggestion is we give another couple minutes and give a good look for Gideon.
Well, Mr. Aiko, you might want to look below us. I'm getting a faint reading down there.
The stairs. Aiko's
We
just
go
gonna
over to the
bolt off.
stairs. Yeah. Otmar will complain the whole time going with Aiko. How far do the stairs lead?
You guys see the still bodies of Gideon's sisters lying in a row underneath this enormous head.
Oh, in the room still?
Are they
In the-
alive? Back above, yeah. Are they alive?
You can't tell from this distance. You're going to have to go into the room.
Where are we going?
Mag says, sorry, fellas. I've got a line here. I'm heading back. Starts to walk back.
Okay, so Megs is heading back. Otmar, you're going into the room to check on Gideon's sisters.
He's
Aiko?
gonna approach them. If he concludes they're dead, he's gonna.
Aiko's actually going to try to persuade Mags to stay for a moment. Mags. Hold on a second. Now, we're a little low on personnel. If there's one thing I can tell you about moving up the corporate ladder, this is what's known as a battlefield promotion. Now, I can't make any big promises, but I can say this. If you're able to help me get something of value before we go, I could see all your problems with settling somewhere else disappearing and having a nice fat stack of cash to back you up. But I'm going to need your help for just a few more minutes, okay?
But you realize we're about to sit at a table that is not favorable for us, right? You know this.
You will have so much money you can buy every table on the fucking planet right now, okay? Just sit at the table, play the card, deal the card, whatever it is. Just help me find Gideon and a little bit of that, black goo stuff, okay? Come on. Aiko's gonna reach his hand out in the most slimy door-to-door salesman way.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, Gideon. Otmar turns around, heads up the steps.
Oh, the stairs go down.
Yeah, well, he goes away from the steps back to the ship.
Okay. Do you want to check on the sisters first, though, or
Uh,
abandoning?
yeah. Okay. No. So he's not hearing this. He's not hearing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Because he would object if he did.
I think you would have had to speak through comms on this, unless you wanted to cut the comms off and talk face to face with Megs. Aiko?
I mean, whatever. He was leaving. I was just talking to him. So if the comms are on, that's fine.
You guys are all in helmets.
Okay. Fine. So Otmar is waiting for Mags's response.
2 minutes. That's all I give it, and I'm staying up here. I'll keep a watch from above. And she pulls out the revolver and tries to find a place where she's got decent visibility of the party as they head down.
A long curved staircase going down. So your line of sight
Aiko's
is kind of
going
limited.
down. Otmar's going to check on the girls.
All right.
So it's just Aiko solo.
Well,
So-
Aiko's gonna ask for the gun. Then he's like, "Can I borrow that?"
Never. Fine, I'm coming with you. Unbelievable.
All right. So
I'm
Megs and
sitting here
Aiko.
doing this, and I know I'm playing a bad hand. One big bluff. Let's go.
So, Ezra, you guys are kind of hearing like every other word in this conversation, but you're getting the gist of what's going on. It sounds like a pretty tense, maybe bad situation. And Gideon is missing. And Captain Lee, who's sitting with you, says, "Is this what you do? You leave your friend behind?
No, this is not what we do. No.
Grow a pair and go and get him."
Has Ezra told everybody that it's about to get nuked, the facility, or
No,
any of that?
that would have been private communication between him and daughter.
Okay. South is just gonna kind of look at her and put his hands on the table and just ball his hands and go, "God damn it, Otmar. What is going on down there? Tell me something, anything."
Shh, the girls. Shh.
The girls what? And at this point, I think South would get up from the table and kind of start walking towards the ropes.
I will assume
Yes,
that you
sir.
all had time to put on compression suits. You have one on. I'll just make that assumption.
Does
Ezra,
Ezra
sorry.
see South moving towards the ropes?
You're in the pilot. You're in the cockpit. You would have heard him talking, though.
South, come here before you head down.
Ezra, I don't have the time. What? What?
There's something down there that's got the mothership concerned. I think our time here is real limited. We got to get off this planet.
Ezra,
Gather
this
your-
won't be good.
Gather your locals and let's get out of here. This is your last warning.
Give me 5 minutes. Can you give me 5 minutes?
You got it. 5 minutes.
The South is going to hook to the rope and immediately go down, just at least to establish better comms. Maybe not go as far down the hole as they did, but
I
maybe
need
get
you
better.
to make a mobility check, just like everyone else had to when they went down these ropes. They'll get a +2 dice, though.
Oh, I meant to add. Did not add it.
Because he's motivated.
You got Carl helping you out.
Why won't it? Oh, okay. These motherfuckers. Didn't matter. Oh, no. Yeah, didn't matter.
No. Here we go.
Splat.
This will
No.
be good.
It's not so bad. All right. First of all, you get a stress level automatically for not making any successes. But I do need you to make roll a d6 for me, please. You make it down. You notice as you're getting down that the walls of this hollow, it's been raining this entire time and it's getting muddy and slick, and you kind of see kind of rivulets of water rushing down the edges of and the sides of this hole. And it's been a bit of time. It's been over an hour now, and the water seems to be accumulating. And you can see like small mudslides almost coming down into this place. And as you touch the surface of the hatch, as you reach like this steel thing here, it's now slick with mud and water. You lose your footing. I need you to make another mobility check. Thank God. If you failed this one, you would have fallen through the hole. So you managed to catch yourself. You did get that 1 point of stress, though. But yeah, it's getting bad down here. The conditions are deteriorating quite quickly.
And as I'm going down, I'm just constantly trying to get a better communication with Almar, I guess, as I'm getting closer and closer to him.
Okay. I'll let you make another contact check.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am 0 points in contact. Oh, wow. Okay.
3 successes. So you managed to get a signal into Otmar. But before you answer Otmar, I'm going to go back to the temple. And now you're about halfway through. You have to be about halfway through this room to see the figures lying underneath this thing. I need you to make an observation check. You're about halfway through. You can see the faces of Gideon's sisters poked out of this. They're wrapped like mummies in this linen-like cloth, but their faces are still exposed. And even from this distance, you can see their chest rising. A slow breath. But you also notice at this point in time that not all of these xenomorphic figures on the face of this face are statues. One of them just ever so slightly turn its head towards you.
He's going to run.
Can you make a mobility check for me, please? All right. You managed to get out of this room without knocking over any of these urns that are tightly packed. And then you hear South calling you.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Gideon, where's Gideon?
No sign of him. The girls are here, but there's some alien ritual. Looks like they've been infected.
Infected? What? Like Alex? What?
You don't want to come down here.
It's too late.
It's a nightmare I'll never forget.
Well,
I'm
look,
coming to you.
we've got to get out of here. Whatever's down here has got daughter concerned. I don't know. Ezra knows. Ezra's leading on. He knows something more than what we do. But it's got daughter concerned. We need to get out of here.
Extract. You'd be
Where's Mag?
broadcasting. Time to go. Do Mags or Aiko hear any of that?
Make a contact check for me, please, Otmar.
Goddamn
You-
contact.
You're going to need 2 successes at this point to reach them.
Oh,
As they've gone deeper into the hole.
negative.
Now have a nervous twitch.
Mags knew what she was getting into. Let's go. South.
No, wait a minute. Mags knew what she was getting into. We cannot leave. Otmar, you can't leave Gideon. Are you serious?
You just told me we had to go.
We have to go, but that didn't include leaving without Gideon. You
Gideon's been missing for 18 minutes. No radio comms, sign of its dust up, and 2 dead sisters, or soon to be alien sisters. It's not going to be good. You want to guess what's going to happen to Gideon? Want to go out on a limb?
South will kind of look at Otmar.
You
and
seen
kinda-
Jarvis, didn't you? You know what's happening. Hell, maybe happened to us too.
South is going to put his hand on Otmar's shoulder and look at him eye to eye. And Otmar, this is your choice. Gideon was, I mean, he was.
You think I don't know that?
If you make the call, it's your call, Otmar. I'm not going to have it on my conscience. It's your
Why
call.
you gotta put it on me? How many more people gotta die?
Because Mags and Ico, of all people, are the only two down there while you're trying to get the fuck out.
Mags knows it's time to go. She's gonna see us up there if she's still walking.
God damn it, Otmar. And South will just walk back to the ropes. But I am not leaving without Mags and Ico. We've lost too many people for nothing. We are getting out of here. We are getting out of here. And then he'll try to reach Mags and Ico. And whatever y'all are doing down there, we need to speed it up.
So I just want to clarify, South, Otmar, you're making your way back to the ropes at the
So Otmar's run out of the ritual statue phase room,
right.
and has reached South on the radio, but doesn't see him yet. He's maybe
I think-
passing the stairs as he goes back to like the central hub.
Right. And yeah, South would have kind of met you in that hallway, and that's when you guys had that conversation.
So he would have told South where, like, if they were within eyeshot of the stairs, he would have pointed. But he'd be like, he'd be running out of there away from the xenomorphs. And he just doesn't know if they're following him or if they're just hanging out in the statue face.
So Otmar, you're heading back towards the hatch and the ropes. South, you said you're heading back there too. So both of you are.
South is, I
Yeah,
guess.
they're trying to reach Mags as well. They're trying to reach, Ico.
I guess
And maybe Mags and Ico, I don't know what their deal is, but if they don't respond, he's just like, everybody dead, no survivors.
All right. I'm gonna move to. Sorry, go ahead.
would I have to make a comtech roll to see if
Yeah,
I
you're
can?
You're gonna need 2 successes.
I just had 2 successes. Can't count those.
Yeah. I push.
I mean, I guess now's time to do it, right?
There. Out of reach. Ico. Megs. As you descend down this kind of long, winding spiral staircase, getting deeper into the earth, you both hear it at the same time. A strange sound. Sound of a flute playing from below.
As soon as Ico hears that sound, he's got a pistol in his backpack or his gear. He's gonna pull. Now he's never fired this. In fact, he didn't even do it in basic training. He kind of bribed somebody because he just hated dealing with the noise. So he's never even fired a gun before. So he's pulled it out. He's literally walking down the stairs, like holding it in the most awkward angle. But he's trying to look tough in front of Mags as well. So it's a sad sight, but he's doing his best.
Go ahead.
Mags.
It should be very obvious to Mags that he does not even know how to fire this, and the safety may very well be on.
Oh dear. I'm not sure how we're gonna tackle this problem. Listen, that flute is not a good sign. That's not the welcoming party we want. I think it's time for us to get out of here. Not sure what you're after there, Ico. I don't think it's actually the oh geez, what did you call everyone down here? I've heard you say a variety of different things about all of us. Give me an example. None of them are coming to me right now.
Ico's actually going to pull out a list that he's got. Swamp rats, backwater, hillbillies, bucktooth.
Ah, yeah. So I find it really a stretch to believe you're down here to rescue one of those. I'm heading up. You're on your own.
Let me just tell you one thing. One thing. Now, I have overseen thousands of careers, thousands of them. So many people burn out, try to climb the ladder, and I kick them down because they suck. But as you said, this backwater kid Gideon, do you know that within little as 3 minutes of training, she was able to hack the data disk? He was able to hack the data disk on his own. Now, I have never seen an entry-level employee with that much potential. Now, I would be absolutely crazy to not at least try to get this kid back here, because he's going to move up the ranks. And that's a powerful ally to have.
Well, I wish you the best.
Oh. Can I at least have your gun?
She shakes her head. You wouldn't know what to do with it. And she starts hustling up.
Echo. Just you and the flute music. And soon after, like mere seconds after Meg starts heading up the stairs once more, you see a strange blue flickering light coming from the bottom of the stairs.
Aiko's going to pull up his his personal information, like his banking information, his corporate status. He's gonna look at his bank account one last time and be like, he's been trying to get to $1 trillion, but he's a little short. Ah, God damn it. And he also sees vice president, not president. So he's just looking at it and he's thinking, goddamn close. He's also going to, I don't want to say it right now, but he's going to send like an encoded message to Ezra. We'll get to what it is later, but it's going to be like an ultra low bandwidth so that like it'll go through, because it's using like a very SOS back channel, like low bandwidth, 3 kilobytes of data, but it'll eventually reach Ezra if Aiko never does. And he's just going to sigh, and he's going to look at the gun. He's going to start pulling the trigger because he knows about the safety concept, but he doesn't know it's on. So he's going to pull the trigger. He doesn't want to fire the gun, but he wants to see if it's got enough give. And he thinks it does, so he's just going to keep going down the stairs. But he is going to try to be stealthy.
I need you to make a mobility check then to see how stealthy you are.
Oh, not very. Not very. We're doing this. Yes!
Right. Sneak your way down. And before I tell you what you see, with Otmar south, you are back at the hatch at the bottom of the ropes, waiting. Megs, you're not that far behind. You're still coming down the tunnel, heading towards. Are you walking? You running? Or how's Megs getting out of here?
She's hustling. She's done. She's out.
All right. Ezra, you can see on your cameras, downward-facing cameras, you can see Otmar and South on the hatch. A moment later, you see Megs appear. No sign of Aiko.
Comms out to those guys. Where's Aiko?
He's on a fool's errand, listening to the Pied Piper play its tune.
All this
He ain't
time,
coming back. It's time for us to go.
Ezra, that blinking red light is just like glaring in your face. From Eon, they want to have a chat with you.
I click and say, Nakami, come in.
Do that to me once more. I'll ensure that you are thrown in the brig as soon as you arrive on the mothership.
Click.
Where's your
Cancel communication.
All right. And you see the red light blinking once more.
Back to Otmar. Bag south. You guys coming up?
Hooking up now. Damn fucking shame.
Where's Gideon?
No sign of him. Iko went down to the very deepest. He ain't come back neither. Seen the xenomorphs. We seen the sisters what been ritualized, and we out of time, isn't that what you said?
Yep. Daughter. Communicated clearly. There's a bioweapon on this planet. Don't have many choices.
There is definitely a bioweapon. The whole planet is a bioweapon. Needs to be destroyed.
Wait, is this the first time Ezra said anything about the bioweapon?
Yep,
Excuse
using those
me?
words, yes.
What? Ezra, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ask your friend Otmar. He understands.
Ain't you seen those goddamn, what you call them, xenomorphs?
Yeah, you're telling me those things are manufactured here? Bioweapons? What? What did you see down
what
there?
are the odds? They just happen to be all over the place.
Okay, and what about the sisters you cut out? All I could make out was sisters and static.
Okay, so there was a big stone sculpture of a beautiful face, and upon that face were multiple spider-like xenomorphs, and then lined up beneath that were all these urns lined up just so, and then within the urns there were some wrapped up. You ever heard of a mummy from the old kind of world wrapped up? Yeah, it was like that, and it was a bunch, but the two ones, it looked like the girls. And so then I went a bit closer to look. I want to have a look. And I get close, and I see some of those aliens on the face and statues. It's actual, just like, remember Alex, what he turned into, the same thing. And I see the girls start to move too. And I think if I be starting to move like that, you put one right through my forehead.
So the Gideon, him, sisters.
Ain't no sign of Gideon. The sisters what been ritualized in a goddamn ceremony for xenomorphs. I think it might break quarantine protocol to bring them on board. I don't know. We can check with Ezra.
So they're all gone.
This place was always a dead end.
South is just going to kind of blank stare and try to soak it all in.
Ezra's going to click on the red blinking button if it's still blinking.
God damn it, Ezra. Jesus Christ. Trying to save your ass here.
Bad
Listen to
connection.
Listen to what I have to goddamn say. And get your ass out of there as soon as possible. They're losing patience. If you can't secure your delegation, then leave them behind.
Including Iko?
Including Iko. There's a shitstorm on the way. Get your asses out of there.
Roger. Click.
Iko. You descend the last few feet of this tunnel. The flute music is getting louder. Blue lights getting brighter. And you find yourself on an elevated walkway and a room opening up in front of you. In this room, you see like pillars of glass. You're not quite sure. It looks like glass, but inside each of these glass pillars is a figure. Some look human, some not. All various forms of alien species or hybrid species, you're not quite sure. They're trapped in these clear tubes as if they're on display. And as you walk past them, you can clearly see maybe about 100 feet further into this room. This is a larger room now, the source of the light. And you see a small island, a circular island in the middle of it, with lights and some sort of strange text swirling around it. There are 4 seats surrounding this sphere of light that looks like a star chart of some kind. In 3 of the seats, you see the slouched bodies of Gideon, Lockjaw, and Half Pint. In the 4th seat, the seat furthest from you on the other side of this star chart sphere, you see Frank playing a flute.
I want to do just a general observation as well, just to see whatever else I can take in on this room.
Sure. Wow. Nicely done. I'm just going to pull you onto the map here. Easy access to you. I'm going to have you make a contact check. And you
Now
can
that-
take, and I'll let you take the extra successes, which are 2, and add 2 dice to your contact check.
Okay, so how do I? Can I? Okay, so base modifier 2.
Yep.
Bang.
You have read reports of this from other missions to such places. What looks to be like a control room, but they could never really figure out how they worked. They were clearly a construct of the engineers, which you have heard about. But when you look around this place, you recognize that you're looking at the star charts of your system. You can see a little light kind of orbiting this outer sphere. Those are the far spinward colonies. That's where you are. You can see the outer rim a little closer into the center, and you can see near the center the middle heavens, and amongst those cluster of stars is Earth. You see maybe not that far from where you are within the far spinward colony systems, a large red blinking light. And it is not a system, it is not a star or a planet, it is something else.
Can I go snap a picture with his comm device?
All right. And you had so many successes in your contact check that I'll even say you are able to read and decipher some of the text that is scrolling past you. Say here, this gallery is testament to our ingenuity, our intelligence, and our efforts, but also to our failure. We must not be too prideful in our achievements while they turn on us. We must be mindful of our hubris, that we could control that which we created, but we could not. We cannot. This hall will stand in perpetuity, a monument to our brilliance, but also a monument to our impotence. We must not mourn that which we have lost, but look to the future. So, we will depart, harness the Lich Gate one last time before casting its glorious power into the darkness of the past, leaving no path for our perfected children to follow, casting them into our past to begin again.
Oh God, this alien hippie nonsense.
And as you see those words scrolling past you, and you see the blinking red light, Frank lowers his flute. Thank you. As he just acknowledges the slouched bodies in the other chairs. And looks up at you, Aiko. Ah. Our ride is here, my lovelies. And emerging behind him, not one, not two, perhaps a dozen of these xenomorphic creatures. And Frank gets up and says, we have a ship to catch children.
So who is sitting directly across from him?
Gideon is closest to you.
So Aiko's gonna walk up. He's gonna take Gideon. He's gonna put her down. He's gonna sit down in the chair, and he's gonna be like, "Sit down. Let's have a talk." And he's just gonna kind of lean in.
I need you to take a stress, Aiko.
Yeah, just one. That sounds great. Okay, plus.
Frank says, no. The time for talking is over. I've waited almost a century for this. I have found it. The Lich Gate. And my children will now be free.
Can Aiko, so he wants to do a manipulation check, but he wants to he's trying to figure out or come up with some sort of way of conveying that this nonsense that he just read, that he believes is some nutjob alien manifesto, he wants to act like he gets it, and he wants to, help him with this vision. So he wants to, like, I don't know how to phrase it, but he wants to try to translate that nonsense into, like, hey, I get it. We want to propagate the Lich Gate, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. I'll let you make a manipulation check. But you're going to need 3 successes, and it's going to be contested.
I guess I can't push. Now, I do have a born leader, which allows me to switch to using a command if I fail a manipulation.
Let me roll first.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Never mind. No worries. All good. Yeah, you would have failed the first one. So, and your command has also failed. Yeah. Unfortunately, Frank seems pretty hell-bent. So, you have an opportunity, Aiko. Do you want to stay? Do you want to fight? Do you want to run?
Aiko's going to stay. He's going to be like, you've been here 1,000 years. You got your buddies here. I get it. I'm a little outnumbered. That's fine. I get it. Why don't you just humor me here and give me a little bit more information? I only understand so much, and a guy like you can fill in the blanks.
You see Gideon, like Gideon is alive. He's just kind of breathing, like he's broken, like clearly unconscious, but he's still alive. These xenomorphs, they just scream past you. I need you to take another stress as you're rushed by about a dozen aliens, but they ignore you and they're rushing up the stairs.
Aiko's gonna employ his, like, he in his head, the only way he can keep saying is he's treating this like a high stakes merger negotiation, and his leverage just went out the window. So he just keeps it cool, but like he may have peed his pants up just a little bit.
Frank is now standing. He gently places the flute back down on the console, and he's making his way around. And I'll say you don't even need to make an observation check, but you can see past where Frank was sitting another shadow moving, and it is enormous. And Frank says, it's too bad we didn't have more time together. I would have loved to study you more. It's so rare to find fresh specimens.
I get it. And you know what? We do have time. I just want to clarify the timetable we're dealing with here. So if you could let me know, that could help me plan.
Frank is standing right in front of you now.
Aiko is still just sitting. Like, have you seen Die Hard, the first one? It's the guy who gets shot by the bad guys, but he's doing the whole Bubby. I can get him for that's his whole shtick right now. He's like, come on, Frank, we're buddies.
You see an enormous creature emerge from the shadows. If this thing is bigger than an elephant, and it has a huge carapace, like wedge-shaped shell of a head, and it's just starting to step forward out of the shadows. I'm going to move back the hatch here, where the three of you are starting to climb the ropes back up to the ship.
Cowards!
And yeah, Megs, you're the last one to arrive, and just as you arrive, you hear a strange noise coming from behind you. Sounds like some sort of chittering noise, and it's the scuffling of insect-like feet scrambling across like a hard floor.
She'll get on comms right away, hearing that, and say, "Pull up. You've got to pull us up."
Ezra will tell the crew, get to the ropes. We're going up. Have them try to pull as the landing crew is climbing. I'll have the engineering crew pull them up, and I'll start liftoff slowly.
I need each of you, so Megs, Otmar, make a mobility check.
Oh, goodness.
All right, Megs, you got 1 success. South, none. Otmar, 3.
Could Atmar use some of his extras to help South, who seems to be struggling? He struggled on the way down, so he knows what that feels like.
Yeah, tell me how you help South up.
First, he would pause. He would stabilize himself. He'd pause. He sees that Mags has found purchase, and he feels the pull as Ezra starts to go vertical. And he sees South not in a good place. And so he would start to like ratchet down and try to swing himself over to help him.
Okay, so South, with a helping hand from Otmar, you managed to scramble up the rope far enough so that these creatures emerging beneath you are unable to grab you. But you can see them trying to scramble up the sides of this hollow, trying to climb up faster than the rope is being pulled up. And there are about a dozen of them.
Ezra, can you see those bogies?
I'll check out my display panels. Do I see them?
Oh yeah, you see
How
them.
far away are they from the climbers?
They are roughly keeping pace. These things are fast.
Are they able to get access to the rope?
They will not be able to access the rope, but some of them will be able to like climb up the sides of this hollow past where the climbers are and get above the ship and jump onto the ship, which is what they're trying to do.
I'll climb faster. As long as they're on the long as they're on the rope, I will pull them out.
All right, I need to make a piloting check for me, please.
Through the whole ship.
Three successes. You managed to pull up fast enough, but I'm going to have each of you guys make another mobility check to hold on. But the extra successes, 2 successes, Ezra, you can use to help your friends out, to maybe ease their
All
trip
right.
up.
And I have something called full throttle. when piloting a spacecraft, +2 modifier for any rolls to accelerate or decelerate. I try to get 2 more successes.
You got one
Ooh,
more.
I got one. I got one. All right, cool.
So you got
Yeah.
total of how many did you get there? You can divide up 3 successes to give extra dice to your friends. South, you already got 1 success. Otmar, you got none. Megs, you got 1. So you might want to give those extra dice to Otmar.
3, yep. 3, what is it? 3 or 4 to Otmar, yeah.
Yep, 3 to Otmar.
This rod's rougher than Jarvis.
Ooh, and you're gonna get -2 to this because you're panicked, crazy. So you're gonna roll 1 extra die, Otmar.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Otmar's rolls 1d6.
Yes. Yep. Otmar, you managed to hang on by the skin of your teeth. You guys are all just like flailing wildly beneath this ship as it zips up out of here. You managed to avoid any of these alien creatures from jumping onto your ship. They're just, some of them kind of scramble on as they try to latch on, but they just slide off and plummet. Some of them plummet to their death. Some of them fall down the large hole into far below. But your ship is clear, and the 3 of that have been holding on are safe and can be pulled on board. That just leaves Aiko and Gideon sitting with Frank and the Queen.
So on that comms tech check, and from the beacon light, and what I've read from my other reports, am I able to maybe bribe him and say, "Hey, you know, this is a great operation you've got here, but I've got some resources that can help you do it better. In fact, I've seen it done over here, and I think I can help you."
Oh, but you have already helped me. And your body will help us even further.
Well, now, Bobby.
Gideon, you will have enough time in this span of time, along with Lockjaw and Half Pint, have 1 point of health. As you come out of your stupor, and I'm going to allow Megs. You can control Lockjaw and Half Pint. I'll give you ownership of them. Henchman, after all. That's Half Pint. And Lockjaw. Second. All right. I'm going to have you minus the Queen. Roll for initiative. And Frank gets to go. Half Pint and Lockjaw. You guys are up first.
Do they have access to their equipment that they had?
They will not have their weapons, no.
All right then. But they can move and
move?
do things.
Yep.
So Half Pint, you see Half Pint, who somehow has sort of come out of his stupor, sees Gideon, Aiko, and is Frank like looming over them, sort of thing? Where's Frank?
Frank is in front of Aiko. Yeah, back to Half Pint.
So Half Pint would see this, trying to get a read on things, but is going to charge Frank, and he's going to attempt to grapple Frank.
Close combat.
Oh,
All right.
come
Half
on,
Pint.
buddy.
Yeah, NPCs cannot push. Sorry. All right. The Half Pint lunges forward, tries to grab a hold of Frank, but maybe it's the poked up drugs that he was on just moments ago, or being knocked out, or something. He's still groggy, is unable to grab a hold of Frank. Lockjaw.
Lockjaw's is Gideon like in a wheelchair? What's Gideon's status? No, he was walking, right?
Gideon, you have come down hard from your last, like the drugs you were on. You still have another dose though. gets you going.
But he's crashed. Lockjaw's going to rush over and try to pick Gideon up and try to run away with Gideon on his shoulder.
Gideon going to resist.
I don't think he can at this point.
You're barely conscious. You kind of see what's going on. You just see bright blue lights everywhere. You see Aiko, of all people, beside you.
Yeah, he's probably just fully out of it and just kind of like, holy shit, this is a weird ass dream. Why the hell is Aiko down here?
So Lockjaw picks up Gideon and starts making its way back up the stairs. It's about 100 feet from here to the stairs, walking along this raised walkway along this large gallery of strange glass-like tubes. He starts down there. Aiko?
Frank, let's continue this conversation later. And he sees Lockjaw and Gideon like booking it, and he's going to take off.
All right, because you're in engaged range with Frank, I need you to make a mobility check to see if you can get away from him.
Yeah.
All right. So you succeed. He does not get a free attack on you, as you are all booking it. It's only half pint back there now. And Frank will go. So the three of you have made a little bit of distance. Frank will just turn around and attack half pint.
Boy, half pint.
That is an arm pull. Grabs the victim's arm and tries to pull it clean off with its bare hands. And does so.
He's a quarter pint now.
Oh, jeez. All right. All right. So, half pint, lost an arm, and 2 points of health. And yeah, that's half pint is down. As Frank just rips his arm off. And then Gideon, you are kind of fireman style being carried out of this chamber on Lockjaw's shoulder. You're coming to. What would you like to do?
Is there any way he can, like, I don't know if this is possible, but is there any way he can, like, help Lockjaw, kind of make it so Lockjaw has an easier time getting up the stairs with him?
You still
There's
have
not much you can
basically
do.
another dose of adrenaline.
Okay.
You can just stab Lockjaw with it.
Yeah, I guess.
Or
if he can-
yourself.
True,
Or yourself. Yeah.
That would be so weird. You're saving someone, they like stab you with a needle. What the fuck?
What the? Whoa! I guess. Okay. I guess if he's even able to get out that adrenaline, he's gonna try and stab himself so he can make it up the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, you inject yourself. That'll be your fast action to pull the needle out, slow action to inject yourself. And you're feeling like $1 million now. You're good to go.
I can take on a xenomorph queen, baby. Let me go back there.
Fucking
You know
go,
what?
man.
I'm not
I
going
can
up the
play you,
stairs.
Frank. You're going down.
Is there Rocky music playing in the background? Eye of the Tiger. Rocky Balboa versus a Queen Xenomorph. I would pay to see that.
Frank is moving up. He's going to follow you guys. He's not running, though. You just see him walking like Darth Vader style. He knows he has you. He's patient. He'll just chase you down.
Terrifying
You
as hell.
guys run as fast as you can back to the hatch.
Oh, right.
Uh-oh.
You appear here. Three of you. But you see the ship way above you. And you see the walls around you crawling these xenomorphs. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, was Lockjaw with the party when we went off in different directions? I remember going down the hallways.
Lockjaw went off to scout ahead, and then you lost radio
That's
contact
right.
with them.
That's right.
Ezra, you are far above them now, clear of the hollow and the reach of these alien creatures. You see Lockjaw, South, and Aiko appear on the hatch below you. You see that they're surrounded by xenomorphs. By now, Otmar, Megs, and South are safely on board.
Who's there? Gideon and Aiko.
Gideon, Aiko, and Lockjaw.
I'll just turn around and look at Otmar and South. Won't say anything, just look at them. Do they see? Do they know? Are there
Yeah.
any?
We're
Displays.
looking at the screen now and trying to figure
Yeah.
out what the hell is going.
Yeah. If as I look at the screen, they're looking at the screen. I turn around and look back at them.
I guess we're going back down.
Get your stunners. I lower the ship and are we on comms?
Yeah, you're all on comms still.
They're not going to be able to outrun these things. But how far is the hatch like buried? Are they able to climb? Can they get like to a compass direction? If I say head due north,
It'll be a scramble. They came out of the passage up here. There are tunnels here on each cardinal point, but they lead to dead ends. One of them leads to
The west one, I believe, leads
the east
to the
one.
outside.
Yeah, the east one leads to the outside.
yeah, whatever that is. I try to have them distance themselves from the hatch and potentially leave some of the monsters behind. I'll communicate to them, make a break for it in whatever direction, fill in the blank, where the pathway leading away from the hatch would be.
You guys know which passageway is the right one, so you guys can all book it down there if you want.
Could we signal to them? Because there was another exit point that we had
Yep.
found. Could we signal to them to go rendezvous with that?
That's where we're going.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm late to the party.
No worries. No worries. I'll get.
Two ropes extending out of the bay of the ship, and I'll say, guys, get your stunners.
So I need Aiko, Lockjaw, and Gideon to make mobility checks to see if you guys can outrun these alien creatures as you just charge down that tunnel. I don't see any successes going on here.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Lockjaw, sort of failing, is gonna he's gonna yell to the others and say, "I got this. I'll hold him off. You go. I got it."
Aiko's gonna yell back, "You'll get accommodation for this."
The hero we didn't know we needed.
Hell yeah! Bring it.
Oh, dies in 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh. All right. So Gideon, Aiko, you are booking it down this hallway. Lockjaw turns to face an onslaught.
Gideon's like,
xenomorphs.
fun, eh? Cracked up Sonic the Hedgehog next to me.
Leaves a
As
smoke
you
spill
hear-
right behind him as he's running.
Can we fire at the xenomorphs from the ship with ranged weaponry that we have as we're descending, just to try to suppress
you-
them?
Yeah, sure, you can. They've all ducked into a tunnel though.
Okay.
So they're chasing them down this tunnel.
Got
And
So,
Ezra,
they're not a threat to the ship anymore. Okay.
No. And Ezra, you're flying above this valley now, heading to this is where you know that it comes up.
Yep.
It's going to take them a little while to get there though, because it's a long run.
Right? I'll do some sort of holding pattern
Set
and
us
start
down.
to
Can
calculate. Sorry, go ahead.
we can clear an LZ. Set us down.
All right, I'll lower the ship to the tips of the rope, or can reach the ground.
see Captain Lynn. She's still tied up in the mess hall. Carl comes forward to you, Ezra, and says, Captain, she's demanding that you let her go. She wants to help.
Nope.
All right. So, I'm going to pull you guys all onto the map here. Gideon, Aiko. You two are running down this hall. You hear Lockjaw being torn apart behind you.
For the hollow!
While we're running, can I try to like configure my gun to like auto fire? And I want to create like I'm trying to create like a distraction with this thing and
No.
throw it down like a.
Auto
Thing,
fire is
right?
a special mechanic in Alien, unless your weapon is capable of it. You cannot. You can just keep pulling the trigger. That's what you're gonna have to do. Who am I missing
about-
here?
The bomb that we made, could we throw that down there?
Hell yeah!
Would that be a possibility?
Oh yeah. Tell Ezra that. And who was the red shirt that I told to hide the bomb? What was
I
his
think it
name?
was poor Carl.
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 Poor Carl.
Yeah.
And by the way, I recall it was an amped up bomb from what he found at the town, the village. His job was to make it go boom even bigger.
So
Wait a
whatever
minute.
happened with Carl? Is he still on board? Is he still part of the crew?
Wait a minute,
Oh,
but
yeah.
how big is the blast radius? Would it? How far could someone possibly throw it without hurting?
We don't have time for your freaking questions, man. Just
Well, we
light
just
it and
got
throw it,
done.
okay?
I'll throw it.
Just don't hit me. I'm
I
surprised
just
I
can't.
Yeah,
throw Brady.
don't hit-
I'm not gonna be
Don't
able to
hit me. That's all you got to worry about.
hit.
All right. So, Ezra, you pilot the ship over where you know the tower, the ruins of a tower are, and where the stairs will emerge.
Yep.
You land the ship. The left-
Just enough for the rope. Yeah, right there. Ropes hanging from the bay.
Yep.
I know they have to make a mobility check if they go the ropes. Yeah, I'll bring it close enough so they can hop out.
So, Otmar, Megs, and South, you hop out. Right. So you guys are on the ground. Ezra, you're the eye in the sky still.
Tell Carl to find the bomb.
All right. Megs, Otmar, South, can you describe to me how you set up position around the entrance to this hole?
Otmar would head into the tunnel and try to illuminate it and have his prod ready to charge.
Oh, you're
Max
muted,
would
I
find
think.
cover on the side, and she'd have her revolver out, pointed into the darkness.
I'm sorry, everybody cut out. What was going on?
How are you setting up position around the hole that leads into the complex?
Who's throwing the bomb into the hole? Or are we getting
Ezra's
it
still
ready?
getting the bomb. Ezra's still
Carl's-
getting it ready.
Yeah, we don't have it yet. Carl's still trying to find it.
So yeah, South is just gonna try to get cover around anything he can and just point his. I think I had. Well, let me make sure I didn't drop it. Yeah, he's gonna point his pistol down in the hole into the darkness, same as Mags, and just get ready for anything.
Does South want to ask Ezra the bomb status?
Yeah, he'll go.
If he's interested in it, maybe Ezra gives us an update.
Ezra, the bomb, Ico, the one he wanted to stuff inside the captain. Where's it at?
Ezra will look at Carl. Carl, did you find it?
Yeah. I had to go through your stuff though, sir. I hope you don't mind.
Well, that's what you're here for.
Yeah. Here you go, and he just passes over a backpack. There is a remote detonator on it. It's enough I don't know. It's not a big boom like I told Aiko. It'll blow a hole in the hull, most hulls anyway, unless
Good
it's
enough.
reinforced.
I grab it
Uh,
from him and toss it to south. I grab the backpack off Carl and toss it to south. Did south depart already?
Oh, you can do.
Yeah.
Let's say you could do that before he left. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
easy.
or I'll grab it off Carl, walk to the hatch, and while the ship is hovering, and toss it out the hatch. Say to south, don't miss.
Don't. Yeah, it was a bad idea. Don't toss it to me.
Gideon and Aiko, I'm gonna need you guys to make one more mobility check. These guys are fast.
Yes.
I'm gonna push.
Oh, fudge.
No.
Well, can I use one of my extra successes maybe if she's stumbling to like grab her, like save her from stumbling?
Okay. Yeah, but I need you to make a panic roll, Gideon, because Aiko just screamed in your ear.
Okay. Thanks. That was really helpful. Maybe that's why I stumbled. Where is that?
Yeah, go ahead and just press the stress button at the
Okay.
top.
It's been a while since I've had to do that.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So you are good. Gideon, you stumble. Aiko, you scream.
Hi.
But you managed to help Gideon up onto his feet. And you are now at the stairs leading up. These alien creatures are right behind you.
If any of them even start coming close, Aiko's just gonna be like bam, 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 bam.
All right. So how do you guys, I'm going to ask you, how do you guys want to do this? Because you know that there are a lot of them. You can stay and fire your guns if you like. And it's likely not going to go well for you guys. Or you can get the hell out of Dodge.
I'm assuming I don't even have any of my stuff, so I'm just booking it.
This is an extraction.
All right.
This is not Rambo.
Okay.
This is Runbo.
You all, Megs, Otmar, South, you hear Aiko screaming. And you know clearly that is Aiko screaming.
Manly screaming. This is like a oh yeah.
You
Let's
should have-
go.
Totally. You can tell yourself that.
And a
It
few
might
moments
be a
later,
very high pitched squeal.
Not to be confused with Lockjaw's manly scream.
My boy. Lockjaw.
all right, and they emerge. Aiko first, helping Gideon along as they emerge from this hole, and you can hear those alien creatures. They are mere feet away from them. What are you going to do now?
I guess just try to provide cover fire.
Get everybody up ahead of the aliens and try to stave them off.
What I'm going to do here, since the whole point of this is an extraction, I'm going to make you all roll a mobility. Because all you guys can fire as much as you guys like, but there's going to be more aliens coming behind them. This is not a fight you can win. You gotta get up.
Are we allowed to push?
You are allowed to push, if you can.
Oh shit. I can't.
All right. Stealth, you have 2 successes. Megs, you're good. Aiko, you're messed up.
Do you see a push
Gideon.
for Otmar? I thought I clicked it, but I don't see one.
I do not see a push for Otmar.
Okay, he's gonna push now.
All right, and you have 2 successes.
When
The only
Aiko
people-
saw the rest of the people in like that he didn't expect to be here, he like got shocked and kind of just slipped and fell.
All right, everyone needs to make a panic check for me, please. Except Aiko.
Oh.
Except Aiko. All right, Megs. Oh no. You're gonna drop Spade.
She
Oh, that
dropped
sucks.
Spade.
And just going to see Otmar, you're going to drop your zapper. Gideon,
I don't have anything, so this
you don't
works out
have
great.
anything to drop.
The
Yeah,
wheelchair.
nothing. You got nothing to drop.
Her empty drug vial.
Yeah, just chucks the
Yeah,
needle at
this-
him.
Little
She was
syringe.
trying to like get some more out of it. Aw.
So the good thing is, South, you did not drop your item, so you have the backpack in your hand.
Finally, for once. But I am trembling now.
Trembling. You like to drop the backpack in the hole.
Yeah. It's got a remote detonator, right?
It does.
Okay. Dumb question. Since we didn't really give context, who's got the remote detonator? Ezra, me, or Carl?
In
Well, he would've given-
in the side pouch of the backpack.
Okay. Wait, the side pouch of the back? Okay, then I'm going to take that out of the backpack.
All right. You drop it
And
down the
blow-
hole.
yeah.
And blow it up. All right.
Or
I
is
need.
everybody? Are we within a safe distance?
We'll find out.
You're killing me, Andrew.
Please, I've survived this long. Please.
I'm going to
All
drop it in the hole and give it maybe a second or two delay before I detonate it.
You don't have a second or two because they are right there.
Okay, well, again, I stand by. You're killing me, Andrew. I guess I'll do it.
Sorry.
I'll detonate it right then and there.
I did say they were just a few feet behind, so yeah, they are right there. You don't have a second. All right, you drop it, you detonate it. Go ahead and roll 10d6 for me, please.
Mags notices she dropped Spade. And she turns and starts running back to Spade.
Oh no. Yeah. How many did you roll there? Is that 10? One more.
Oh, one more.
I count 1, 2 successes. So I need each of you, except Ezra, to roll your armor, please. All right. So no successes. All right. So you are all going to take 2 points of health damage.
Can I use resilient?
Yes,
Try
you
and
can.
see
If you
if
have
that-
resilience, you can use that. Yeah.
I have 3, so that was lucky.
I only have 1, so I really need this. God damn it.
All right. So Gideon, you are knocked unconscious once more from blast.
Casually have brain
Megs.
damage now.
Megs, I need you to make an observation check as you look for Spade. You have to seek cover. Well, right, using short range increase by 1. All right. So everyone increase your stress by 1 point as you see Megs lunge forward towards the blast, towards the aliens in search of her gun.
Oh, jeez.
Megs, you scramble around in the dirt. You swear it was here, but maybe the blast kind of blew it away, covered it with debris. You cannot find Spade. The blast was strong enough that it has stunned the aliens for a brief moment, perhaps to give you enough time to get away.
Take a deep breath.
Gideon is unable to get away because Gideon is unconscious unless someone wants to pick them up. And if
Who's the
someone
strongest
picks,
here, is it South? Like physically strongest.
No, my strength is a 3. If we have to roll forward.
Otmar could do it. I think he's down there still.
Otmar, grab Gideon.
On it.
Aiko's gonna, as Aiko starts grabbing the rope, he's gonna look at South, and he's gonna be with a slight, half amused, half frowning. Is that my bomb?
Yes. No citation. You can't give me a citation though. It don't work for Wayland.
We'll discuss on the ship. Aiko's like suit is like all burned. He's got like blood all over his face.
Also, you should give Carl a pay bump because that was a hell of a bomb.
Thanks. Would you like to continue searching for Spade or retreat?
She is so incredibly panicked, stressed. You hear her yelling things that don't quite make sense. Like, she always wins. The bitch always wins. And she's like in the dirt looking for that revolver. She's trying to find it.
Otmar, you've picked up Gideon.
He sees the zapper, but he's not worried about it. It's like they can make another one. But he's going to try to get unconscious Gideon somehow up into the ship. Based on how low it is. He could hoist it just into the bay or maybe try to secure onto a line.
Can Aiko...
Sorry?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Aiko.
Can he make an can this be like a passive observation? Because there's a lot of crap, like chaos going on. But does Aiko notice that Mags is not coming with us?
Oh yeah, you all notice Mags is babbling and scrambling through the dirt.
Can I make a command? Am I allowed to use command on him? I'm gonna be like, Max, you stubborn bitch, get the fuck over here now!
Right. Command, if nothing else, will eliminate the panic. Nice. But that has caused you to go berserk.
Because I'm like, we're trying to leave, and you're searching for a fucking gun. Do you have any idea what I just ran through?
All right, so this is interesting. So, Aiko, you rush over to Megs. You shake her to her senses. You're no longer panicked, Megs. However, you're going to attack her, Aiko. So go ahead and make a close combat check as you're forcefully trying to convince her.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. Oh, I have a lot of stress, though. Oh, darn.
All right, so that is one success against you, Megs. Would you like to resist or block?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead
This
and
is a
roll
slap that was a little too hard.
Go ahead and make a
Should I
close
roll
combat
armor
check.
first? Or...
If you want to just take it, just roll your armor.
Right.
All right. So you're going to take the 1 point of damage then.
That's fine. But it does sort of knock her out of her stupor. And she grabs him after the punch and starts running towards the ship.
South, are you there or are you... Okay, we'll have to get back. Otmar, I'm going to need you to make a check for me. This will be, let's call it a stamina check. See if you can get Gideon to the ship. Not a problem. Oh, but you freeze. So this is after your action. So you managed to bring Gideon onto the ship. You turn around and you see crawling out of this hole that has now been blasted wider and open. Some of these creatures crawling through. Some of them have broken bits of shell blasted off of them. Some of them might be missing a limb, but they're still coming at you. And you just freeze on the back hatch of this ship. Aiko and Megs, one more mobility check from you guys to see if you can get onto the ship before these guys come out.
As this is happening, South is like telling them like, it's fucking game over, man. It's time to go.
While Aiko was knocking some sense into Megs, Otmar's picking up Gideon. South, you just went right back onto the ship yourself? Or did you linger?
No, I'm like I said, as I'm getting onto the ship, that's what I'm saying. it's game over. We need to go.
So all of you manage to get onto the back of the ship. Some of you are frozen. Some of you are catatonic by the time you get onto the ship. You can see the aliens seething from this hole in the ground. Ezra, can you make a piloting check for me to see if you can get the ship up quickly enough? And
All right, again, I
Stop.
got full throttle, talent. Get a +2 modification when piloting rolls to accelerate or decelerate. So let's see how I do piloting. It's 2.
the
3
successes.
successes. Yep.
Nicely done. You managed to pull up quickly enough before the aliens can jump on board. You managed to close the hatch without losing anyone. They all just slide into the ship as the hatch gets shut. And you're all safe. See that blinking red light on your console.
I click it. Ikami, come in.
Ezra, is that you? Are you clear?
Clear. Remaining crew and landing crew all aboard.
You hear the voice call over their shoulders to someone else in the background. They're clear. And then just hear in the background that same words, the same set of words being echoed from one person to another until you hear in the background somebody said, fire.
All right. Ezra will put pedal to the metal, gun it off into the ozone.
Okay. And as you guys head up into the stratosphere and break orbit or break through the atmosphere of this planet, you can see a bright flash below you. But it doesn't hit. It's not centered on where you just were. It was centered on Baxter. Now, this nuclear weapon is still going to devastate an entire area around it. And there's a bit of a shock wave that you ride out of the atmosphere. Yeah, they did not hit directly anyway. Hole in the ground.
The crew would want to have words with the targeting department.
You are now off world. Your ship comes to dock once more with the mothership. And as crews rush towards you to assess the damage and to address any wounds or medical attention that any of you need, can you tell me what is going through each of your minds now that you have reached safety, space? Start with South.
I think for South, it's a sigh of relief. Like, he'd worked as a prospector, as a miner. His father was killed in a mining accident on Baxter's Reach. His mother passed away shortly after, and all he wanted was to be able to get off of Baxter's Reach. And he did it. To what extent? That has, taken a big toll on South. And I think he's just kind of disassociating, kind of out of a window, maybe watching, I guess, the flames rise up from space of what used to be Baxter's Reach.
Thanks.
She's struggling a bit because the bomb. I mean, presumably they saw this. They saw where the bomb exploded, and that had nothing to do with that hole. So she's thinking something like, They just wipe us off the map like we're nothing. Is the hollow just another line on the ledger? What is this? She's trying to figure it all out. She's really struggling, knowing that the hollow and everyone who had been in there is probably gone now.
Otmar.
Otmar, he looks around. He looks at Gideon and Aiko, Mags, South. He thinks they might be infected. I mean, that Twitch might be the one. They might be the ones who are going to pop into one of those things. So and then he also thinks he's going to turn into one of those things. And so every Twitch he has, he's like, oh, is that it? Is this it? Is this when it happens? He's convinced the infection has permeated them and himself.
Need a healthy sense of paranoia. Aiko.
So he's after he comes out of his catatonic stupor, he's immediately going to send a delete code to that encoded message he sent to Ezra. That's a relief. And he's actually really stressed because he forgot to get some of that goddamn goo when we were in that room. So he knows he's lost some leverage, but he does have his picture. So really all of Aiko's mind is really just focused on how can he spin this to get into a presidency chair. And he's thinking he can use that photo he snapped of the world and the geo map, the star map, and all that stuff. He's hoping he can somehow leverage that into political capital, as well as his understanding of the xenomorphs and up there. But he also knows that he wants to get a higher level of clearance because there's clearly something going on here, and he is missing some information. So he's thinking like, who do I have to blackmail to get some information on this? Because I am in the dark. And lastly, he's thinking about what is he going to do for Gideon, Otmar, and Mags in terms of like getting them legal papers and figuring out like what he's going to do. And he's going to put in he's going to put in accommodation for gosh, I'm already forgetting their name, Lockjaw and Half Pint. And he's also going to retroactively he's not going to put in a compliment for Ezra, but he's going to go in and he's going to delete all records of citations. So there's just a blank slate. And this includes all other citations he got from previous any other issues, even the citations that he would have gotten from coming up here. Everything is just gone.
I will make you roll a ComTech check though, just
Sure.
to see how fast you are on that delete button.
I have a 4 in ComTech, so I was born for this. Dang.
Ezra.
Ezra had received some mods that made him well suited to his assignments prior to the Great Mother mission. And it was all about self-preservation. So this was an experience that caused him to maybe understand a little bit more about human nature. And that's how he's feeling. And when he gets some sort of low bandwidth transmission from Aiko, he types back, transmission failed. And now he is just relatively cool, calm, collected, as a synth would be, sort of mulling about. What's the name of the ship that recovered us?
The Ianla.
Yanla, mulling about the Yanla, and just really trying to decipher, maybe hitting up a terminal to see if Aiko knew about the bioweapons before they arrived, and if it was really Aiko's objective the whole while to recover some of these bioweapons.
Check.
I would love to.
Echo. Go ahead and tell Ezra what he would have found.
I was in the dark. I didn't know.
You
I
didn't
want
know.
to know.
Didn't know. Interesting.
Now, I want to be clear. That's not to say I wouldn't have done it if they asked. They just didn't have the courtesy to ask.
Yeah, intent is everything, right? All right. Yeah. Like Ezra's just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
I don't think it's fully clicked for him what's happened. Because I feel like at this point he probably has like a major concussion. And so he's like, a part of him's like, holy cow, I'm actually in space. This is so cool. Another part of, I can't wait to like show the girls. It's gonna be so cool. And like we'll go back to Max's Reach, and then it like everyone's gonna be there. It's gonna be cool just because it hasn't fully clicked that this has happened yet. Because I don't think he was conscious for when they bombed Baxter's Reach, and he didn't know that Otmar didn't grab his other sisters. So he's kind of sitting there like, okay, just gotta chill out for a little bit, then I can go back to them and I can show off all this cool stuff that's up here. This is gonna be great. Because I guess he hasn't fully realized what's going on yet.
Well, the good news is you don't have to deal with your dad anymore.
Got nuked. Yeah.
Yeah. Been wanting to do that for years.
Can I add one thing to mine?
Mhm.
If there's an officer kind of walking by south, he'll kind of ask him, "Excuse me, do you mind if I bum a cigarette from you?" And he'll kind of light up a cigarette in front of the window, watching the smoldering flame that is Baxter's Reach now, and kind of reflect on Benji. And we made it into space. The one thing that Benji wanted to do, and say, we made it, kid. We made it.
That is where we'll end Arc 1 of the Farthest Reach. Well done, guys. You all survived. It's much more than what I was expecting. So.
Well, Half-Pint and Lockjaw did not.
True. All right. I'm going to end the stream there, though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back in the new year with Arc 2 to see where this story continues. All right. That was a good night, folks.